Other side of the aisle, joining us now, Foreign Relations Committee member, Senator Johnny Isakson. I hope you heard all that, Senator. I have to go both ways a lot of times, but I guess would you make some of the would you make some of the same points I just made, Senator?
I would, and I have. You know, I ran a small business in Georgia for 22 years, and every time I went through a recessionary period, like 68 or 74, 75 or 81, 82, government always swung the pendulum way back too far the other way that had some significant ramifications. I think Chairman Greenspan's right. There's going to be a lot of adjustments to this bill down the line. The problem is, in the immediate future, it's going to constrain lending, and it's going to reduce the capital formation for many sources of financing, not the least of which is probably mortgages. And
so how do they overcome the death of Senator Byrd? What's going to happen in, I know you can't speak for your fellow Republicans, but just give us an idea of how it's going to play out over the next couple of weeks.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, but I think over the next couple of weeks there'll be a lot coming out as people begin to absorb what was put in the bill, and they see the labyrinth of new regulation, which is very costly to small business. There's a very popular idea to rein in Wall Street, but this bill really reins in Main Street. I think Wall Street and the big banking systems are going to be able to absorb the additional requirements, but the new consumer finance czar regulations, new requirements on the banking system, new limitations in terms of mortgages are going to cause some serious problems in the economy and are going to hurt small business and community banks.
When it finally comes down, how do you handicap it now? You say things might, over the next couple of weeks, get a little bit heated, but most people say that it's done. It's going to happen. Are you willing to say that at this point?
I'm not willing to say that at this point. That is predictably probably what will happen, but it's not a done deal yet, I don't believe.
Not a done deal yet. Well, if the one thing I thought is interesting is that you, Senator, on the right, and as well as Senator Kaufman, are both invoking what Chairman Greenspan said to make their point, which is
typical Greenspan.
Which is everybody he gave something for everyone on that. But one of the things, I don't know if you heard him say that if you just had to have more capital and people, if their rear was on the line, shareholders, CEOs, board members, that it would have happened. I said that could have been done in one page. You didn't need 2,299 additional pages for that, and he's not sure what's in the bill either. Do you know what's in the bill?
I've studied the bill as much as I could, not being on the committee, and I know there are a lot of things. One, some real constraints on capital because of the requirements like risk retention against mortgages, the requirement of a limitation of 3% under the Volcker rule in terms of proprietary trading. You can only go to 3% of Tier 1 capital. That's a limitation that suppresses economic activity. And then there are many references to rules and regulations that will be promulgated to carry out the intent of the legislation. And as a small businessman running a company like I did, that's exactly what worries me to death. When you have unpredictable regulation yet to be written, you have small business holding on to what capital it has without expansion until they know what the rules are going to be.
Senator, thank you. We appreciate you taking the other side on this. I don't think I'm glad it's not going to be July 4th because we're going to have something to talk about for the next couple of weeks.
Yes, we are.
In addition to just stock market. Thank you, Senator Isakson.
All right. When we come back, we'll have more on FinReg from both sides of the House aisle. Congressman Paul Kanjorski on the Democrats' side.